Alright friends, welcome back to 7th capsule. This is the last one for the week and we are going to deliberate on read between the lines. 3 issues we are going to deliberate. One is Securities and Exchange Board of India, the capital market regulator, allowed options trading in commodities. Previously, it allowed futures and now options are also allowed. And what is the exact meaning and difference between options and futures? Second point is IT sector growth expected to be around 10%, and that is the biggest worry for Indian IT sector. And what are the problems faced by IT sector? We are going to deliberate on that. And whose report recently, that means the World Health Organization's report stating that 6 lakh deaths were caused due to outdoor air pollution is the biggest cause for worry in our country. So these 3 issues we are going to deliberate in read between the lines. First one is Securities and Exchange Board of India allows options trading in commodities. Securities and Exchange Board of India is the regulator for capital market. It is also the regulator for derivatives market. Previously, Forward Markets Commission was there, and last year in September that was merged with Securities and Exchange Board of India. Now SEBI looks after commodities markets also. And you may ask, what are various commodities? I have listed here just for the sake of your knowledge and understanding. All of you are well aware about the pulses. These are examples for pulses. Please look into this slide. Then cereals like wheat, rice, jawar, bajra. These are all examples of cereals. Oil seeds and edible oils I have listed out here. Please view them. Then comes spices. Spices are like cardamom, cinnamon, pepper, ginger. These are all examples of spices, including chilies. Then metals, all of you are familiar with metals, steel, aluminium, nickel. These are all examples of metals. Then precious metals. Precious metals means gold, silver, platinum. These are all examples of precious metals. Then plantation. Plantation crops are coffee, tea, rubber, cocoa. These are all examples of plantation. Then energy. Energy is basically crude oil. Then gasoline or petrol, then natural gas, then coal. So these are all the examples of commodities, and the trading in commodities takes place primarily through commodities exchanges. And I have listed out 2 important commodities exchanges in our country. One is MCX, the other one is NCDEX, right? So I listed out various commodities as well as the exchanges which are looking at commodities trading. Let us come back to the discussion. As per Securities Contracts Regulation Act of 1956, 91 commodities are permitted for derivatives trading. 91 commodities are permitted, and these include 17 cereals and pulses, 12 oil seeds, like that I have listed out here. Please go through it. And in the budget, the finance minister announced that new derivative products will be developed by SEBI, and as such now the government announced permitting options trading. And you may have a doubt between what is meant by futures, what is meant by options. I will give you with a classic example. Let us look at wheat crop. Wheat, all of you are familiar, it is the Rabi crop. Wheat requires cool winters as well as hot summers. That's why it is planted somewhere around October or so, and harvesting season is normally April or so. So the duration of wheat crop includes cool winters as well as hot summers. That's why it is grown mostly in Indo-Gangetic plains of the country. It is not grown in southern India because South India has got no cool winters. Let us assume we are in the month of December and a farmer cultivated wheat crop. A farmer cultivated wheat crop and we are in the month of December, and at present the cost per bag of wheat, let us assume the cost per bag of wheat rupees 1050 per bag. The farmer, small farmer, feared that once the harvesting comes, somewhere in the month of April, the cost of wheat may go down to 800 or 900 from 1050. At present it is 1050 and it may go down to 800 or 900. That's the fear of the farmer. So during December itself, farmer will have a contract with the trader, and trader will have an agreement with the farmer that he will purchase at rupees 1000 per bag. So trader will say that I will purchase at rupees 1000 per bag, and once the harvesting is over, then farmer is to sell only to the trader at rupees 1000. If it increases to 1200, if it is reduces to 800, that is not the botheration of the farmer. Farmer has to sell to the trader who has agreed with the futures contract. So futures contract means it is agreed upon price at a later date or distant date. This is futures contract. Farmer has to sell. If the price is 800 or if the price is 1200, if the price is 1500, it doesn't matter. Farmer has to sell and he will get at rupees 1000 per bag only as per the agreed price. This is futures contract. Let us come back to options. Here under options contract, the trader will come, he will pay some premium to the farmer and the price agreed upon is rupees 1000. Let us assume in options contract, if the price agreed upon is rupees 1000. Let us assume two cases. If it increases to 1200 by the time, then farmer has to sell, and if the cost is 800, then the trader has got no obligation to purchase. Trader has got no obligation to purchase. So trader has got right but not obligation. So if the price is 1200, farmer has to sell. If the price is 800, trader need not purchase. And you may ask, what is the benefit to the farmer? Farmer will have that initial premium paid by the trader. Trader might have paid maybe 5% premium, that means 50 rupees per bag. So that is the profit for the farmer, and trader is also escaped with minimum loss if the price falls to rupees 800. So let us make it clear in this case. That means in the case of options, the risks are less to the trader, and in the case of futures, the risks are more to the trader. This is all about options and futures. Sometime later, we will discuss this particular issue once again in economy. Right friends, having learned this, I have given differences here between futures contracts and options contracts. Please go through it. I have already explained you by taking wheat as the example and allowing options contracts. What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages I have given here? Advantages are, it gives more depth to the derivatives market, and liquidity in the derivatives exchanges will be improved, and the initial outlay is much low in options. As I have already told you, the investment and the risks are very less in options contracts. Then at present, monthly volumes of commodity derivatives is much lower in comparison to equity derivatives. Derivatives, that means futures trading takes place in shares also. In comparison to derivatives market in shares, the derivatives market in commodities is abysmally low. So by allowing options contract, the total volumes will increase. And with options, there is every possibility that trading in commodity derivatives may pick up, as I have already told you just now. What are the disadvantages? There is every possibility that very few traders may influence the price movements in commodities. We have very bad experience with castor seed as well as the chena, and In these two cases, SEBI banned trading, and under these circumstances, to ensure transparency and to reduce speculation, it is advisable to allow banks or mutual funds to participate in the options contracts. Otherwise, it's very difficult to ensure transparency. Institutions like banks, institutions like mutual funds must be allowed to participate in trading of futures as well as options of commodities so as to ensure transparency. Next one is, in futures, the speculators are resorting to price movements. They are manipulating the prices. And there is no guarantee. Even in options also, very few operators may resort to price movement. Next one is, farmers are allowed to participate in options trading, but the irony is Indian farmer at present is not in a position to participate in the derivatives market. So this decision of allowing options may lead to cartelization and price rigging by very few firms or individuals. Then government should first implement electronic national agricultural market. Government recently stated that it integrated 250 mandis out of total 585 mandis. Let us complete the task of integrating all the agriculture markets in electronic way. After that, the price movement will be transparent. Then the firms participating in options contract may not be able to do rigging of prices. Till such time, farmers may not be able to get much benefit by allowing these options contracts. So I have given advantages, disadvantages, and let us look at the next one. This is about IT sector. If you go back 10 years, go back to 2006 or 2005, IT sector, information technology sector used to grow at around 30% year on year. Every year, the growth used to be around 30%. Now, it came down to almost 10%. NASSCOM, you may ask what is NASSCOM? NASSCOM is the body which looks at information technology and business process outsourcing sectors. That is National Association of Software and Services Companies. This looks at IT and BPO sector, and it estimated that during 2016-17, the growth rate is going to be around 10 to 12%. What a fall from 30% growth to 10% growth. And several industry experts also feel that the growth rate may be in single digit. And this is not at all digestible for India, as IT sector used to be predominant driver of economic growth. If you look at 2015-16, our mercantile exports, that means exports of physical goods, have fallen by 15%. But IT sector recorded growth of around 10%. I am talking about exports growth in IT sector. And now, overall, IT sector is expected to grow at around 10% to 12% this year. And most important aspect is IT sector employs around 37 lakh people in our country. And please look into this slide. These are main IT sector firms in this country. That is Tata, Wipro, Infosys, Capgemini, Cognizant. And what are the probable reasons for this reduction in growth rates in IT sector? First one is, IT sector is over-reliant on one geography because United States of America accounts for almost 60% of our exports. Second point is, we concentrated mostly on one vertical. The vertical is BFSI sector. Most of our income comes from BFSI sector, that is the banking, financial services and insurance sector. The third point is, we mostly concentrated on back-end services, which basically thrive on price arbitrage. Back-end services, where in America, if they are required $100, here that work can be done for around 1000 rupees. So there is lot of price arbitrage. So we thrived on that. and several countries now like Philippines are coming as a competitor for us for back-end services. Then third one is we have not reoriented towards SMAC. SMAC means social, then mobile, analytics and cloud. So SMAC is the buzzword now in IT sector, but we have not reoriented towards this, so it is the biggest failure. And next point is Digital India has not taken off on the expected lines as the connectivity is poor even today. And this is the reason why the market for domestic IT is not taking off on faster pace. Then the last point is the scope because of population advantage in e-governance initiatives are not fully exploited because of two reasons. One is lack of connectivity in the hinterland, and the second reason is digital literacy is not up to the mark in hinterland. Because of these two reasons, the advantage because of huge population was not exploited. Right friends, so these are the reasons we have to reorient our IT sector towards SMAC, and we have to concentrate on other verticals also other than BFSI sector. Last one, 6 lakh deaths annually due to fine particulate matter pollution. Recently, World Health Organization released Global Burden of Diseases study. It paints dismal picture of outdoor air pollution. Almost 6 lakh deaths occurred in 1 year, and the most dangerous is particulate matter 2.5. That means fine particles less than 2.5 micron size, and they get lodged deep inside the lungs, and at the same time they reach the bloodstream. Because of these reasons, several health disasters are taking place like stroke. Then second one is ischemic heart disease. So people will have sudden death because of this. Then acute lower respiratory infections because of pollution. Then chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That is the disease connected to lungs because these finer particles are going into deep inside the lungs. So these are the problems we are facing because of this air pollution, and data as stated by World Health Organization cannot be correlated, but pollution is the biggest problem in our country, and the regulatory environment is also too weak in our country, right? Under these circumstances, let us look at what is the need of the hour. To reduce air pollution, I have listed out some points here. In highly built up areas, that is in our cities and towns, most of the dust comes from construction debris, and construction and demolition waste management rules are to be implemented with iron hand. Then dust comes from burning of biomass such as fuel wood, farm litter and cow dung cakes. The need of the hour is to switch over to clean fuel. Not only that, if you look at areas like Punjab, Haryana, lot of agricultural waste is being burnt, which is causing pollution in Delhi during the winter months. Third one is vehicle exhausts, especially diesel vehicles, especially older vehicles is the biggest problem, and they must be phased out in comprehensive manner. Then fourth one is switching over to BS6 norms as far as fuel is concerned must be implemented by April 1, 2020 without delay. Then burning of agricultural residue should not be allowed, as I have already told you. Then wherever burning of biomass for cooking purposes is inevitable, then scientifically designed cook stoves must be made available. Then the greening of urban areas must be taken up with a mission mode so as to absorb pollution. Then greening of national highways and state highways should be undertaken on topmost priority. Right friends, these are the things to be taken care of if India has got real motto of controlling pollution, real motto of saving the humanity from air pollution. Right friends, this is the 7th capsule and the last one for 39th week. Please do join for news at a glance and questions and answers. Have a nice day. Thank you.